Hi, and welcome to another dose of virtual vitamin Z. This is DZTV for the week of October 26th, 2020. I'm your co-host, Stephen.
And I'm your co-host, Claire. Let's jump right into some Detroit Zoological Society updates. What do we have this week, Stephen?
Well, fall festivities at the Detroit Zoo will be continuing through October 31st. So if you haven't been able to visit yet, you have another week to do that. And when you get here, you can wear a costume. We'll be handing out goodie bags. And there are a lot of different attractions at the zoo, things like pumpkins and gourds and places where you can take photos. It's a lot of fun.
It is, and really, the zoos never look more beautiful with all the different fall colors and the trees changing. So it's a great time to come out and visit. Make sure you make your timed entry reservations online, regardless if you're members or if you're buying tickets. They're available for you. We also wanted to update you on last week's quest. So the clues were to start at the sign for the Wild Adventure Zone, walk 25 steps east, then 25 south, then 5 east, then 5 south, and look underneath the nearest spruce tree to find this scene. So if you found it, let us know. It's kind of a really cool scene, Stephen. I'm really impressed with how you came up with all those little aspects to it, especially the little fire leaves there. And in honor of this week's quest, we have a new one for this coming week. So this riddle will help you locate where the scene is out in the zoo. I found sanctuary at the Detroit Zoo. My name is similar to that of a famous ancient human. If I sense danger, I may lay down or run very fast. You can find this week's scene near my favorite hangout. So if you think you know which animal we're talking about here, come on out to the zoo and check out in one of the areas where this animal really likes to spend some time and see if you can find this week's scene. I'll give you one more clue. This animal may lay down or run very fast, but they will not, or he will not, put his head in the sand.
All right, next up, Wildlight's tickets are now on sale. So I've been watching it go up at the zoo. It looks like it's going to be yet another amazing Wildlights this year. So be sure to go to the Detroit Zoo's website and go to the events tab to reserve your tickets for this year's special event.
You know, Stephen, I have to say, I think we're onto something here and starting to put up our holiday lights back in August when it's nice and warm out. I mean, every year I get caught putting up my holiday lights and just, freezing my fingers off trying to get them up. So I think I should take a clue from our colleagues here and start earlier.
I hadn't thought about it, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I just don't put up holiday lights. So
that's one way to make sure your fingers stay warm. All right, we have notes from the Nature Center. So Erin, tell us what's going on and new down at the Belle Isle Nature Center.
Hi, I'm Erin, the Nature Center's manager and field conservation officer for the Detroit Zoological Society, and I'm here with today's notes from the Nature Center. I'm outside the Belle Isle Nature Center. It is a beautiful fall day, and I have a quick and simple activity that you can do at home. You can do it here at Belle Isle if you come out and walk the trails. You can do it in a city park, anywhere you want, and that is to take a seed hike. Now, a seed hike is a great thing to do this time of year because, as you'll see, we have a lot of seeds and seed pods. This is milkweed, and there are a lot of little milkweed beetles on it, but there are also a lot of seeds that are about to pop out of that seed pod and float around. And so a seed hike is sort of like a scavenger hunt. You're just going to go and walk through the woods, walk through the park, walk down through your neighborhood, and find as many different types of seeds and seed pods as you can. And the reason why this is such a great fall activity is that even though the leaves are coming down and a lot of our greenery is changed out for the season, the seed pods tend to stick around a lot longer. I'm going to encourage you not to collect those seeds because these seeds are going to be wildlife food and they are going to travel on their own. But I'm going to challenge you to also look for different types of seeds. So some seeds fly on parachutes. You could look for helicopter seeds like maple samaras. You could look for nuts and other seeds like acorns and that kind of thing, hickory nuts, walnuts in your neighborhood, and see how many different types of seeds you can find. And then you can also make some observations about the animals that are either consuming those seeds, burying those seeds, living on those seeds. And so today's notes from the Nature Center is to take a seed hike. And I'm going to show you some more examples of seeds. All right, we found some more fuzzy seeds that are gonna float off in the wind. Oh. And we found some seeds in this fuzzy grass. They're probably gonna get stuck on some animal fur, or eventually they'll fall to the ground. So you can see those seeds really well here. All right, so here are some great big seed pods, and some of them are empty already at the bottom, but I bet if you look, you'll find some seeds inside these closed pods. It sounds like they're still full. Some almost like samaras or helicopter type seeds that will float on the breeze when they come loose from the tree. All right, so this one above my finger is a really fun one. This is jewelweed or spotted touch-me-not, and it is a catapulting seed pod, so you can see how full that seed pod is. I try to capture it on film. Its strategy is that if in the fall something brushes against that seed pod, an animal, a finger, it catapults open, and so there's the seed pod. You can see it sort of shot out in the center, and the edges of the seed pod curled up, and I think the seed landed right in my hand. All right, thanks for joining me for this week's Notes from the Nature Center. If you head out on a seed hike, I'd love to see the kinds of seeds that you find. All right, stay healthy, Detroit.
That was awesome.
Cool.
I'm gonna have to go out and try to find one of those seeds. I've never seen it. I mean, the milkweed seeds are really cool. When they do pop open, it's like they all kind of like fan out at once, but I've never seen one of those little catapulting ones. That was really neat.
That was awesome.
All right, Stephen, over to you for our feature story, Have a Humane Halloween.
So Halloween is coming up this Saturday, and we have some tips for how you can celebrate Halloween in a humane way. That is a way that helps do the most good for animals in the environment and the least harm. And so one way that you can do that is by, rather than going to the store and buying a new costume, you can opt out of that supply chain and practice reusing or repurposing by going to a thrift store and getting your costume at a thrift store, or even looking around your house and getting parts of your costume from around your house. So Claire and I challenged each other that we would go to a thrift store and spend no more than $20 to create a costume, and it was a competition to see whose was better. And so we are going to ask you, once we show you this video, to in the comment section go ahead and vote on whose you like better, or make a comment. We'll see, Claire. We'll see. All right. So Claire, tell me a little bit about your costume.
So I decided to honor all of our healthcare workers who've been on the front lines for the past several months as we battled through COVID-19 and this pandemic. So I decided to be a healthcare hero. So I made a cape with healthcare hero on the back. I made it from some fabric that I had around. I had my trusty stethoscope, and we all have masks and face shields these days, so I just utilized those. The scrubs I got from the thrift store, $2.49 each. So I really bargain shopped out this whole costume idea. And yeah, honoring all those brave men and women who are on our front lines, making sure that we're taken care of. A little bit about your costume.
Okay, so initially I decided that I wanted to do something that I thought was kind of clever, but at the same time, I didn't really get much. So I decided to go really simple. I did pick up this nice white shirt at the thrift store. It was about $10, so that was pretty cool. But I decided to end up just going minimalist and recognizing that anybody who wears a face mask and a mask is a hero or a superhero. So I am a superhero.
I love it. That's fantastic.
Just a second, I'm getting a phone call there.
Okay.
What's that? Okay, I'll be there in just a moment.
Are you good? Did you want? Aren't you supposed to have like a telephone booth for this part?
I don't have a cell phone. We don't have telephone booths.
That's true. I'm sorry. I forgot that we were in 2020.
I'm a superhero. Not all heroes wear capes. No. This is supposed to work better. But some do.
I love it.
All right, back to you, Claire, for the virtual education program preview.
Thanks, Stephen. All right. We want to thank DTE this week for supporting our educational programming with your sponsorship. Thanks to community partners like DTE that we can continue bringing you DZTV and all of our virtual program lineup. So thank you to them for sponsoring our educational offerings this week, which start off with DZTV with Claire and Stephen, as we do every Monday at 11. And this afternoon at 4 p.m., featuring our partnership and collaboration with DTE, I'll be focusing on the Detroit Zoological Society's Green Journey and really focusing in on some of the energy efficiency upgrades and initiatives that we've been doing over the last several years. So tune in at 4 to see what you can do to join us on that green journey.
I'm really excited. I know you've done a few different ones on sustainability, and I'm really excited for this one, especially with that connection with DTE. On Tuesday, October 27th at 11 a.m., Aquila will be sharing a lesson on homemade dog treats, a fall vegan special, which I'm very excited about. And then at 4 p.m., Danae will be sharing another episode in her hit series, Be Aware, Not Afraid, on nocturnal animals.
Wednesday morning, and a minute with Jabari the giraffe. Barbie's going to present that. And Wednesday afternoon, David is back with one of his wild adventure stories, always a great tale, many of them from firsthand experiences that he's had. So I'll be tuning in at 4 p.m. to see what story he has for us this week.
And David, if you have already a story, that's great. But if you haven't, maybe it can be a scary story for Halloween. That might be kind of interesting. On Thursday at 11 a.m., Mike will be talking about how you can be participating in Frog Watch during the winter. And then at 4 p.m., I will be talking about how you can be an energy vampire hunter.
I cannot wait to see what that entails. Certainly is the right time of season for that one. Friday morning, we're going to join Brad out for a virtual habitat chat at the Lemur Habitat. And then in the afternoon, Zara continues her mini-series, Animal Mysteries and Misconceptions, and she'll be focusing on wolves this week. A lot of misconceptions out there about wolves, so hopefully she'll be able to address many of those.
All right, for weather this week, we're going to go to a new weather correspondent. What's the weather like out there?
It's looking spooky out.
All right, everybody, that's everything for this week for DZTV. Stay healthy, and we'll see you next week.